Please subscribe to this channel and support us so we can post new sci-fi stories every day. Your support keeps us going. The Galactic Senate chamber on planet Threxor erupted in chaos as proximity alarms shrieked through the crystalline halls. Admiral Kreshtar's 4 eyes widened as his sensor operator's voice cracked with disbelief. Unidentified vessel exiting FTL. Massive energy signatures, sir. Like nothing in our databases. The Admiral's mandibles clicked dismissively. After 3 centuries of galactic dominance, the Threxorian Empire had seen every ship design known to exist. Probably another rogue cargo hauler from the Outer Rim, he muttered. But his confidence evaporated as the hologram stabilized above the chamber floor. A monstrous, angular warship materialized in the displaced leak, yet brutally functional. Its hull a shade of black that seemed to devour light itself. The design was unmistakably human, but impossible. Humans were pre-FTL primitives barely 200 cycles ago, according to every historical record. Deep in the void between star systems, the Terran ship Vengeance of Earth hung motionless like a predator in perfect stillness. Its massive bulk, nearly 5 kilometers of seamless obsidian metal cast, no reflection, bore no identifying marks, transmitted no signals. Across the Empire's inner systems, long-range sensors screamed warnings that sent shockwaves through military command centers. "That ship shouldn't exist," whispered Commander Zeffel to her bridge crew, her scaled hands trembling as she studied the readings. Intelligence reports claimed humans went extinct after their civil wars. Who could have built something like that? On the Imperial throne world, Empress Varelia's elegant features contorted with rage and confusion as she demanded answers from her cowering advisors. The holographic projection of the human vessel rotated slowly before her, each angle revealing new impossibilities, weapons systems beyond their understanding, armor that defied conventional physics, and an aura of menace that chilled even her cold reptilian blood. The flashbacks rippled through galactic memory banks like poison through water. Centuries ago, when the Galactic Federation had extended its hand in generous membership to the primitive humans of Earth, humanity had done the unthinkable. They said no. Federation records showed them as a fractured species, prone to violence, barely capable of escaping their own gravity well. When human colonies in the outer systems were pacified for their own good, the remainder of their species simply vanished. Most believed they had retreated to their homeworld to die in their inevitable wars. But Dr. Velthara, an elderly Threxorian historian, had always suspected something darker. "The last time we encountered a human vessel," she whispered to anyone who would listen, "it was a simple cargo freighter requesting safe passage. This monstrosity... This represents an evolution we never saw coming." The truth was far more terrifying. Humanity hadn't retreated to die, they had retreated to the edge of a black hole, where time moved differently and secrets could be forged in absolute darkness. Inside the Terran warship, Admiral Marcus Rain stood before the vast transperisteel viewport, his weathered face illuminated by the cold light of distant stars. The bridge around him hummed with quiet efficiency, no shouted orders, no panic, just the deadly calm of a species that had learned to weaponize patience itself. His crew moved like shadows, their black uniforms bearing no traditional ranks, only the Terran sigil, a cracked earth surrounded by consuming flames. "This empire burned our colonies," Rain said softly, his voice carrying the weight of centuries of preparation. "They scattered our people across the void, believing us weak, primitive, expendable. Now they'll learn what humanity becomes when it has nothing left to lose." Behind him, tactical displays showed the positions of 40 Threxorian cruisers forming a desperate blockade, their commanders broadcasting increasingly frantic demands for identification. Rain's lips curved in something that might have been a smile. "Open forward hangars," he commanded. "Let them see what we've become." The Empire's response was swift and overwhelming. 40 of their finest cruisers formed a perfect battle formation, their hulls bristling with plasma cannons and graviton torpedoes. Admiral Kreshtar himself led the blockade, his flagship's communications array broadcasting on all frequencies. "Unknown vessel, identify yourself immediately or be destroyed. You are trespassing in sovereign Threxorian space." The human ship said nothing. It simply opened its forward sections like the petals of a mechanical flower, revealing cavernous hangars that seemed to stretch into infinity. Then they came hundreds of drones pouring out like a swarm of black insects, each one no larger than a fighter but moving with inhuman precision. The Threxorian sensors couldn't track them. Their stealth technology was beyond comprehension, bending light and gravity around their forms. Launch countermeasures. Kreshtar screamed, but his weapons found only empty space. The drones bypassed shields as if they didn't exist, each one attaching quantum charges to the hulls of the massive cruisers with surgical precision. The destruction was unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed. One by one, 40 proud Threxorian warships didn't explode, they simply ceased to exist. Their matter converted to pure energy and dispersed harmlessly into space. No debris, no screams, just brilliant flashes of light, followed by profound silence. In the Imperial Palace, Empress Virelia's throne room erupted in chaos as reports flooded in. "What are these monsters?" she shrieked, her usually composed demeanor shattered. They were supposed to be extinct. Her chief science advisor, a trembling creature who had spent his life studying extinct species, could barely form words. "Your Majesty, we ignored every sign. While we celebrated our superiority, they were evolving beyond our comprehension. They didn't just survive, they transcended everything we thought we knew about warfare, about technology, about what it means to be apex predators in this galaxy." Deep within the Terran flagship, a hidden chamber held humanity's most sacred memories, the Archive of Ascension. Here, holographic recordings played the true story of Earth's transformation, the nuclear fires that nearly consumed their world, the moment of unity when survival demanded evolution, and the decades of patient development that followed. Cities had been built beneath ocean floors and mountain ranges, populations hidden in artificial ecosystems, while the surface pretended to be a dying world. AI-enhanced evolution had pushed human capabilities beyond biological limits, creating a species that thought in centuries rather than years. "We are not conquerors," Admiral Rain had said in his first address to the hidden fleets, "but we are not prey. Never again will humanity bow to those who mistake mercy for weakness." The recordings showed the moment of revelation when deep space sensors detected the Empire's treatment of other primitive species, the systematic elimination of any civilization that showed potential for growth. That was when humanity's patience had ended. A lone alien captain, his ship limping away from the massacre, managed to establish communication with the human vessel. His voice, transmitted across the void, carried desperate confusion. "Why are you here? What do you want from us?" The reply came not in the harsh mechanical tones they expected, but in Admiral Rain's quietly human voice, carrying the weight of centuries of preparation and loss. "To return what you gave us, Sphere." As he spoke, space itself began to shimmer around the Terran ship. Wormhole gates, invisible until this moment, materialized like tears in reality itself. Through them came the lost colony ships of humanity, the primitive vessels the Empire remembered, but sleek instruments of precision destruction. Earth's scattered children had returned home, and they had learned to build nightmares. The Empire's final gambit was magnificent in its desperation. 3 supernova-class dreadnoughts, each stretching 1,000 kilometers in length, emerged from hyperspace with enough firepower to sterilize planets. These were the ultimate expression of Threxorian engineering. Weapons of such devastating power that their very presence in a system could force surrender. But as they approached the human fleet, the vengeance of Earth began to transform. Its solid hull segments shifted and rotated, unfolding like a deadly flower blooming in space. What had appeared to be a single massive ship revealed itself as something far more terrifying, a structure that defied physics, expanding into configurations that hurt to perceive. "Engage Singularity Lance," Admiral Rain commanded with the calm of a man ordering coffee. The weapon that fired was not visible to conventional sensors, but its effect was unmistakable. The center dreadnought simply collapsed inward, its kilometer-long bulk compressed to a point of infinite density before winking out of existence entirely. The remaining alien fleets scattered like startled birds, some attempting desperate hyperspace jumps, while others chose self-destruction rather than face the incomprehensible terror before them. But Empress Virelia's escape had been anticipated centuries in advance. As her personal yacht engaged its emergency jump drives, she found Earth ships already waiting in orbit above her secret sanctuary world. Humanity hadn't just built warships, they had built gates through space-time itself, positioning assets throughout the galaxy, while remaining invisible to every sensor array the Empire possessed. Her escape pod was caught in a stasis field, before she could even scream defiance. "Welcome to accountability," said the Terran officer who materialized in her pod via quantum teleportation. her voice carrying no anger, no hatred, only the implacable certainty of justice, finally arrived. The aftermath settled across the galaxy like ash after a wildfire. The Terran fleet departed as suddenly as it had arrived, leaving behind no occupying force, claiming no territory, demanding no tribute. Their message, broadcast simultaneously across every communications network in known space, carried a weight that would reshape galactic civilization. We came not to rule but to remind you that evolution is not always visible. We withdrew to learn, to grow, to become something you could never have imagined. Consider this a lesson in humility. The next species you consider primitive might be preparing gifts you cannot comprehend. The Threxorian Empire didn't fall in battle, it dissolved from within, as member species re-evaluated their place in a universe where apex predators could wear the face of mercy. On Earth, in the rebuilt cities that floated above the clouds, children studied stellar cartography, while walking past murals depicting the vengeance of Earth in all its terrible glory. Admiral Rain, now an old man, whose augmented body had carried him through centuries of preparation, paused beside a young cadet studying the displays. "What now, Admiral?" the child asked, her eyes bright with the curiosity that had always defined humanity's greatest strength. Rain gazed up at the memorial, remembering the weight of decisions that had reshaped the galaxy, then looked down at the next generation. "Now we wait," he said quietly, his voice carrying hard-won wisdom, "because evolution never stops. Somewhere out there, something bigger than us is learning, growing, preparing. And when it comes, we'll need to remember who we became to survive, not conquerors, but teachers of humility to those who forget that the universe belongs to no one species. The stars above held infinite possibilities, and humanity, having learned the value of patience, was ready to face whatever came next." If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to this channel and support us so we can post new videos every day. Your support means the world.